Right now, as you're watching this video, there might be infinite versions of you making different choices. One chose coffee instead of tea this morning. Another took a different route to work. And somewhere out there, a version of you decided not to click on this video at all. What if I told you that according to some of the world's most brilliant physicists, every single choice you make literally creates another universe? Not metaphorically, not philosophically, actually, physically, creates an entire reality where you made the opposite decision. Think about the biggest choice you've ever made, the career you picked, the person you married, the city you moved to. Now imagine there's a universe where you made every other possible choice. Asterisk, ask, which version is the real you? And more importantly, what does that mean for the life you're living right now? Today, we're diving into one of the most mind-bending ideas in modern science, and by the end, you might never think about your decisions the same way again. Let's start with a simple question that broke physics. When you flip a coin, what determines whether it lands heads or tails? You might say physics, the force of your thumb, air resistance, gravity. But zoom down to the quantum level, and things get weird, really weird. In the 1920s, physicists discovered that particles don't behave like tiny billiard balls. Instead, they exist in what is called superposition. They literally in multiple states at once until you observe them. It's like that coin is spinning in the air forever, both heads and tails simultaneously, until it hits your palm. This bothered a lot of scientists. Einstein famously said, "God does not play dice with the universe." He couldn't accept that reality was fundamentally uncertain, that particles existed in multiple states until measured. But the experiments kept proving him wrong. Then, in 1957, a young physicist named Hugh Everett III proposed something radical. What if the coin doesn't choose heads or tails? What if it lands both ways? What if, at the moment of measurement, the universe literally splits in two? One where you see heads, another where you see tails. This is the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. Every quantum event, every particle interaction, every measurement causes reality to branch. The universe becomes a tree, constantly splitting into new branches with every quantum possibility. But here's where it gets personal. You're made of quantum particles, trillions of them. And if Everett was right, then every quantum event in your body, every neural firing in your brain that leads to a decision, creates a new branch of reality. Let's make this real. This morning, you woke up and your brain processed thousands of tiny inputs. The light hitting your retina, the temperature of the air, the sound of traffic outside. Each of these involved quantum interactions in your neurons. According to many worlds, each interaction could have gone differently. Maybe in one universe, a few photons hit your eye differently, changing your mood just enough that you decided to call that old friend you've been thinking about. In another branch, you walked past a coffee shop instead of going in, never meeting the person who might have become your business partner. The math is staggering. Conservative estimates suggest the universe splits trillions of times per second. That means in just the time you've been watching this video, countless versions of you have branched off into different realities. Think about your biggest life decisions. Where to go to college, whether to take that job offer, whether to say yes when someone asked you out. In many worlds, you made every possible choice. There's a branch where you're a doctor instead of a teacher. A universe where you moved to Japan instead of staying home. A reality where you married your high school sweetheart. Some physicists take this even further. They argue that not only do all quantum possibilities happen, but every logically possible event occurs somewhere. There might be universes where dinosaurs never went extinct. Realities where you were born in ancient Rome. Branches where you became a world-famous musician. The question becomes haunting. Which life is your real life? This is where many worlds theory stops being just physics and starts messing with your head. If there are infinite versions of you, what makes you you? Right now, you have memories, experiences that feel uniquely yours. That embarrassing thing you did in 3rd grade, your first kiss, the way your grandmother's kitchen smelled. But in the many worlds interpretation, countless other versions of you have slightly different memories. There's a you that remembers your grandmother making cookies on a Tuesday instead of a Wednesday. A you that had that first kiss with someone else. A you that never did that embarrassing thing because your teacher was sick that day. Philosophers call this the problem of personal identity. If your memories make you who you are, but other versions of you have different memories, are you all the same person? Or are you fundamentally different beings who just happen to share some history? Some theorists suggest that consciousness itself might be the key. Maybe you are every version of yourself simultaneously, but you can only experience one branch at a time. Your consciousness surfs from decision to decision, always following one path through the infinite tree of possibilities. But that raises an even stranger question. When you make a choice, really any choice, are you choosing which universe to experience next? Or are you just becoming aware of which branch your consciousness happened to land on? Think about a decision you made recently, something small, like what to have for lunch. According to many worlds, there are now universes where you made every possible choice, but you only remember choosing one option. Did you actually choose, or did the universe choose for you? Living in a many worlds reality would change everything about how we think about regret, meaning, and responsibility. Regret becomes complicated. That relationship that didn't work out. There's a universe where it did. That career path you didn't take. You're living it somewhere else. Does this make your regrets meaningless, since every what if is actually happening somewhere? Or does it make them more painful, knowing that better versions of your life exist but are forever out of reach? Responsibility gets murky. If every choice you don't make gets made by another version of you, are you accountable for their actions? There are universes where you're a saint and others where you're a villain. If all possibilities exist, what does it mean to be a good person? Meaning becomes a paradox. On one hand, if everything that can happen does happen, then nothing you do matters in the cosmic sense. Every tragedy is balanced by a comedy somewhere else. Every failure by a success. But on the other hand, your experience remains uniquely yours. The love you feel, the beauty you perceive, the connections you make, these exist and matter in this branch of reality, even if they're different elsewhere. Some find this idea liberating. Every path is taken somewhere, so there's less pressure to make the right choice. Others find it terrifying. If infinite versions of you exist, what makes this version special? Maybe the answer is that this version is special because it's the one you re-experiencing. This branch of reality, with all its joys and sorrows, is the one that gets to host your consciousness right now. That makes it infinitely valuable, even if, or especially because, it's just one of countless possibilities. But many worlds theory also suggests something profound about the nature of existence itself. Every story that could be told is being told somewhere. Every song that could be written exists. Every love that could bloom is blooming. Every tear that could fall is falling. The universe, in this view, is unjust stranger than we imagine. It's more beautiful and terrible and magnificent than we could ever comprehend. So where does this leave us? Floating through space on a small planet in one branch of an infinite tree of realities, each of us experiencing just one thread in an impossibly vast tapestry of existence. Maybe the question isn't which version of you is real. Maybe they all are. Maybe reality is big enough to contain every possibility, every choice, every path not taken. Right now, as you reach the end of this video, the universe might be splitting again. In one branch, you'll think about this for a few minutes and move on. In another, this idea will haunt you for years. Somewhere else, you'll become obsessed with quantum mechanics and change your entire career. Which universe will you choose to experience next? Or more accurately, which one will choose you? The fascinating thing is that we may never know if many worlds is true. These parallel universes, by their very nature, can't communicate with each other. We can't send messages to other branches or peek into alternate realities. Each version of you is forever isolated in their own branch of the cosmic tree. But maybe that's okay. Maybe the mystery is the point. Maybe the fact that we can even imagine infinite versions of ourselves, infinite possibilities, infinite realities, is itself a kind of miracle. The next time you make a choice, any choice, big or small, remember that somewhere, every other option is playing out too. And smile, knowing that in the grand scheme of an infinite multiverse, you get to experience this one unique, impossible, beautiful branch of reality. Asterisk, asterisk, which version of you is watching this right now? And more importantly, which one will you become next?